It was not hard to see why. Our friend Beanie's mother was still sickening by the day, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. We realised, once the initial shocking discovery in the summer term had passed, that there really are no words in the English language to explain how sorry you feel, and that grief, outside books, is far less dramatic and far more exhausting than you are led to expect. "I don't want you to pity me," said Beanie fiercely. "Don't look at me like that." And so we all had to pretend that we did not see her becoming thinner and thinner until her big eyes stared out of her face like carriage lamps. We all had to be very careful where mothers were concerned. Kitty had to bite off her complaining about her mother expecting a baby. "It'll be as dreadful as Binny. Worse, I expect," whenever Beanie came into the dorm, and Lavinia threw away the thoughtful notes accompanying the beautifully wrapped packets of sweets and cakes from her stepmother, Patricia, so that Beanie would not see them. Daisy, of course, was utterly Daisy about it all. She was the only one of us who really did forget most of the time that Beanie even had a mother. She threw herself back into lacrosse and riding and working creative mistakes into her essays, and she threw herself, with a vengeance, back into our quarrel with the other dorm, especially Amina El-Maghrabi. At first, I was surprised at this. I had thought that, after the events of the summer term, we had agreed to be friends with Amina, and Amina was certainly being friendly to us. She waved at us in the corridors, she chatted to us at dinner, and she waited so we could walk up to house together. Oddly, this meant that we spent far more time with Clementine Delacroix than we ever had before, and, to my astonishment, I discovered that she was not as bad as I had always assumed. And I liked Amina very much. She was funny and clever and bold. I was determined to treat her kindly, for I knew how hard it was for anyone who did not look like the perfect English miss at Deepdene. So I could not understand why Daisy met every one of her kind overtures with a snub. I was cross with Daisy over it, and rather embarrassed, and one morning, during the 3rd week of term, I apologised to Amina at the breakfast table, while Daisy glared at us over a slice of toast. "Oh, I don't mind," said Amina. "She doesn't mean it. Do you, Daisy?" And she winked at Daisy as she licked jam off her thumb. "Hardly," said Daisy nonsensically, and spots of colour appeared high up on her cheeks. And I ought to have seen it then. Only I did not. I didn't see it when Amina passed Daisy notes and lessons, and Daisy tore them up and crushed them beneath the heel of her shoe. I didn't see it when Amina asked Daisy what she thought of her Sunday dress, and Daisy told her, with a furious flush on her face, that she looked like an utter horror. I didn't see it until I woke in the middle of one night during the 5th week of term to a tiny rustling, barely even a noise. A year ago I would have slept through it, but my detective senses have been honed, and now I was alert at once. I kept my eyes carefully half-lidded, my breathing slow, and peered through my lashes to see Daisy sitting up in bed. As I watched, she swung her feet down, cat-like, to press them gently against the dorm room floor. There had been no detective society meeting scheduled. There was no case at all. The term had been quite crime-free, so I could not think what she was up to. I made sure I did not move until she had slipped away to the window, and only sat up myself when I heard the squeak of the sash rising, then the gentle patter of feet and hands moving up the drain pipe. I got up and crept across the dorm. Although Daisy might not admit it, I have learned to move as quietly as her, and none of the others woke up, to stand by the window. I waited, peering after her, until she rolled over the lip of the roof high above me, and then I reached out my hands and climbed carefully upwards. These days I am good at that as well. At last I pulled myself onto the slope of the roof. There was Daisy, crouched in the shadow of the eaves, the gold of her hair covered with a dark scarf. She was staring round a corniced chimney pot, as fierce as an owl, at something on the other side. I crept up behind her, holding my breath, putting one foot in front of the other, as soft as silk. "Hazel," said Daisy, not turning around. "How dare you?" "How did you know it was me?" I hissed, startled. "And